Hi, I'm Mehl, and I play Trevor in the Hallmark movie My Christmas Guide. I'm very happy to answer some questions for you today, so let's begin. The storyline of My Christmas Guide, a college professor who teaches classic literature has lost his vision, and with the help of his daughter and a new four-legged companion, well, more than companion, a guide dog, and this very important guide dog trainer, Peyton, played by the amazing Amber Marshall from Heartland, he starts to regain his confidence and sense of self and his worth in the world, and his heart warms and opens again as well. That's a little bit about My Christmas Guide. What initially attracted me to the role, well, at one point somebody calls him extremely handsome, and I thought, oh well, yeah, that's great. I'll do that. No, I joke because I've never really thought of myself that way. That was fun to see myself in that light. But another thing that really attracted me to the role was the opportunity to represent, as somebody who is legally blind. I am not completely blind. I have Stargardt's disease, which is a form of macular degeneration, so I have no central vision, but I have all my peripheral vision. Nevertheless, I consider myself a member of the low vision community, and even though I am a very privileged member of that community, to be able to represent a character who has vision loss, that I have some experience and understanding that I can bring to that. So that definitely attracted me to the role. The romance in the movie, so special and captivating. I'm very glad that people find it so special and captivating. It was, so my co-star, Amber, was amazing to work with. I mean, she's going into her 17th season of her show, Heartland. She has so much experience working in front of the camera, so much more than I do at this point. And she's just such a consummate professional, and I learned so much from her, and we got along so well. We would, every single night before we shot the next day, we were in a hotel together, and we would sit and go through the scenes and run our lines and talk about the day before and and just laugh about everything. So it really felt very natural. Yeah, I don't know. It was easy. I think both of us, we didn't have to put too much on it. We just sort of, we knew what the story was, and we just allowed ourselves to live through that. It was very easy. It was lovely. I had a lovely experience with it. What do I hope audiences take away? One thing that I hope audiences take away that I heard somebody talking about was just a glimpse into the experience of somebody with vision loss. For instance, there's a scene where I'm learning how to cross the street with my guide dog, Max. And I mentioned how I had a close call at this intersection once because of an electric car. And, that not hearing that sound of the engine is a big deal when you can't see. So hearing somebody else pick up on that and thinking like, oh, I never would have thought of that, and just kind of raising a little bit the level of people's understanding and awareness of what some of us live with, and just an increase of empathy for other people's conditions, and this everybody has something that they are dealing with in their life. So I hope that this movie more generally as well can remind us to be aware of what other people might be going through. Put yourself into other people's shoes. Well, the character's journey, it's a beautiful journey. It starts, he's really struggling. It's not easy for him. He has recently lost his vision in his life, and he has recently divorced, and so he's now a single father to his one child, Annie, played by the amazing Ava Weiss. And he, against his will, is sort of helped by the community around him, and especially his daughter. He's helped to overcome certain obstacles, such as things that he's facing at the college, and ultimately rediscover what's possible for him, and to really believe in himself again in a new way. My favorite scene or moment, there were a few. There's this character Chad, and whenever somebody's named Chad, you know. But he's like a terrible boyfriend for Peyton, and yeah, there's a moment where it kind of comes to a head where I'm able to say something that is very honest to Chad, and that's a very enjoyable moment. But also, I mean, all of my scenes with Amber, I had a great time. Because I am a father to 2 young daughters, and I really enjoyed bringing that understanding and experience of mine to my scenes with Annie, my daughter, in the movie. There are moments where she'll say something that surprises me, and I know what it's like when your child says something that is unexpected, but then also, there's a kind of pride in their understanding of what they are seeing. And then there's also the need to sort of save face and remain the parental figure in that relationship. So all of those, the complexity of those moments with your child, I really enjoyed playing with that with Ava, and she was just so much fun to act with. Oh, my experience on You was just a blast. I mean, such a different genre and a different experience. I just had a great time. I loved that role as Dante. My experience on You, that was the first time in my career. So this was a huge step in terms of how many eyeballs I had watching me perform, because I've mostly done theater before You. But when I did You, it was also the first time that I got to play somebody where I didn't have to pretend that I can see more than I can actually see. I did have to pretend that I could see less than I can actually see. But I've never been cast as somebody with the disability that I have to play somebody with vision loss. So that was a profound experience for me. And now to get to do it again, and to be, seen as somebody who can bring some understanding to a character like that, even though this character is so different from Dante. So that was a big deal for me with doing You, and everybody that I got to work with. Penn Badgley, just so welcoming and a pleasure to act with. The You is going into its final season, the 5th season. We've been going through these strikes, the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So as I don't know how far along everything is in terms of the writing of what will be in the 5th season. So I don't know yet what's to come. But yeah, I mean, something that probably people don't know is in that third season, I'm a librarian in that season, and I work in a library that you see this, and that whole library is a set that they built at the Warner Brothers ranch. So yeah, all the books, some of them, we would play a game where you would have to try to guess which books were real and which books were fake, because they all look real, but like half the books were just an empty shell that looks like real books there. So much movie, TV magic.
9. How was your experience on the set of My Christmas Guide and You?
My experience on the set of My Christmas Guide and You were so different for so many reasons. One, You was shot in LA. My Christmas Guide was shot in Newfoundland, Canada in March, and it is very cold and damp. So very different in terms of weather, very different in terms of the pace. I was filming You for over the course of like 3 or 4 months. This movie, My Christmas Guide, was less than 3 weeks, and it was go, which was exhilarating and very fun. I enjoyed aspects about both of those ways of working. Yeah, I don't know. It was very, very different. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now.